In the Sunday morning with the blockbuster cabinet nominations and appointments announced this week. President-elect Trump nominating former Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz to be U.S. Attorney General, Iraq and Afghanistan veteran and Fox News host Pete Hegseth to be Defense Secretary, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to be Health and Human Services Secretary. All of this following earlier announcements, including South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem for Homeland Security Secretary, Florida Senator Marco Rubio for Secretary of State, and veteran and former Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard for Director of National Intelligence. President Trump's nominations were met with fierce hostility and backlash from Democrats and the mainstream media, and support from Republicans.
You know, it's crazy that they're giving him backlash instead of just letting him be. Just let him make the picks. And then he gets to decide whether they're good to stay or should he fire them. At least give him that opportunity. But no, the news media and other lefties want to continue to pound on Trump every single decision. And this is one of them. Those he picked for his cabinet.
Look, Matt Gaetz is a brilliant legal mind. Matt Gaetz he will be the left-wing socialist's worst enemy I think he will get confirmed. Matt can handle himself. He has nothing to hide.
It's one thing to pick people who are loyal to the president, it's another to pick people who are so patently unqualified and who would just trash the Justice Department and use it for purely partisan purposes.
All of this despite President Biden's Attorney General Merrick Garland's reportedly weaponized DOJ, FBI, CIA, and Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, who has overseen the flow of more than 10 million people illegally entering the country. Now we turn to the road ahead and whether President Trump will get his nominees confirmed. Joining me now are two people who will be among those to decide. Missouri Senator Eric Schmitt and Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville. Gentlemen, good to see you both. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good to be with you, Maria.
Eric Schmitt, let me start with you. Are you expecting President Trump's nominees to pass through the confirmation hearings and get confirmed?
I hope he doesn't use the confirmation hearing and just assigns them before Congress get back.
I do. I think if you take a step back and look at what happened in this election, President Trump delivered the greatest political comeback in American history. The Democrats tried to keep him off the ballot. They tried to bankrupt him. They tried to throw him in jail for the rest of his life. He survived all of, including assassination attempts. He survived all of that and emerged winning all the battleground states, including the popular vote. How did he do it? He created a multi-ethnic working class coalition, really the disruptors versus the establishment. I think that's important to note as we roll into these confirmation hearings. He is willing to take on permanent Washington in a way that no president has, certainly in my lifetime. We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to deliver that change, to take on permanent Washington, return the power back to the people. But you can't just do it with the Article 1 branch. You have to have people you trust to go into these agencies and have a real reform agenda. And that's why I think there's real momentum to get these nominations confirmed to actually deliver what President Trump promised on the campaign trail.
Are you planning to vote yes on all of his nominees?
I do. I think we need reformers. I think we need disruptors. I think we need people who want to see real change in these agencies. You look at the Justice Department, they were going after Catholics, moms who showed up to school board meetings, trying to throw the chief political opponent of President Biden in jail. This is nonsense. And so we need real reformers up and down the cabinet. And I think President Trump has put forth qualified nominees.
But Tommy Tuberville, now I'd like your take on it. Let's admit, gentlemen, even some Republicans are against some of his nominees. There were Republicans that were talking against Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. So I ask you the same question. Will his nominees get confirmed?
Well, there's going to be a lot of hard work, Maria. I've been in the Senate for 4 years, and we've fought back against this radical agenda from the left. We've had to play defense. We've had no chance to play offense. Now we have a new head coach and President Trump. He'll start January the 20th, but we'll start in the new Congress January the 5th. And we need to all come together. Our job in the Senate is to advise and consent. And we need to talk about each one of these confirmees. If anybody's got any problems between now and January the 5th, let's work this out. We've got the numbers to do it ourselves. We don't need any Democrats to help us.
It's nice that they don't have more of the same. You know, it's nice to throw in a difference and then see what happens. Give this man an opportunity. Give Trump an opportunity. Just make picks and see what happens.
The numbers. Let's step to the plate, do our job, because we have to get this country back going in the right direction. President Trump only has a short period of time. 4 years is not long, and we're going to need every second to get this country back going in the right direction. But he needs the team around him that's going to help him. He can't do it by
appointees. So now we have a great understanding of that, and we can have a cabinet that is so powerful in delivering the America First message that the American people clearly voted for on November 5th.
Will you have a specific role in the administration? How do you see as the best way to help serve your father and the nation?
No, I don't want to roll in the administration. I want to be very active until January 20th. I want to make sure the people that surround him are the greatest people we can possibly assemble, the smartest minds. You know, when you look at it, not just this cabinet, but the people who are on the outside, whether it's Elon, Bobby Kennedy, obviously being in the.
It's going to be crazy when Trump rolls in and just brings in all these other capitalists or all these other people who know about money, who know what's up, who know how to get things done, how to make the government more efficient. I mean, let's keep it real. All right, so I've been on this live for 55 minutes now. If you enjoyed the video, learned a lot from the Maria clip, remember to give it a thumbs up before you go anywhere. That's all I really need to get this video out to more and more people. Puedo usar 50. And that's where we're at. So
cabinet on that.
all right, I'm going to pause it right there. We're going to call it quits. Yeah, so my name is Noel here at Verbal on Life. I'm trying to broadcast and battling MS. This is my way of battling MS. You know, you got to do something with your life. You can't just do nothing. So here I am creating a YouTube channel, hopefully informing you guys of more and more information and trying to get more into being able to just speak into the microphone and into a camera, because it's not something that I studied for or that I slowly developed over time in speaking with people. So this is a skill that I'm trying to manifest before calling it quits, because, you know, with MS, little by little, you just lose functions. You start to lose ability to walk and talk and even move your legs. So wait, I just said it twice: walk, talk, doing anything. But I still can't move. I still can't talk. So the idea is to just push forward, you know, and just bringing more information to the masses. So if you get something out of this, hey, good for you. Hopefully you'll grow and then share with other people. That's the way I see it, little by little. Now, in doing this video, what else did I learn? Earlier, we just went over Donald Trump arriving at Madison Square Garden, which was epic for a UFC fight. Everybody just standing up and roaring for him. He is now the newly elected President Trump. That's it. He's not trying to do anything. He is going to be the next president. And it's nice to see him developing his cabinet. Every time he picks somebody for the cabinet, you see the left-wing media just criticizing them and saying, no, 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 this is a bad idea. This is a bad pick. But, you know, that's all they do. Complain, complain, complain. But this time around, you know, Trump is going to make his choices. At the end, if he feels like firing them, he does. Otherwise, he'll just continue with the person. And a lot of asks he got coming into office. You know, they talk a lot about draining the swamp, which other politicians may promise. I think Trump actually has an opportunity to get it done. And you just heard Vivek and Elon Musk were given a date for July 4th, 2026. So they got 2 years to slowly but surely start cutting things out of government, where by 2026, July 4th, that'll be the end. And it'll be the big final thing that they want to remove from from the government. So let me see. I'm getting text. Let me respond. No. All right. And creating this YouTube video. All right, almost recorded for like an hour. You know, it's nice to see how people just are able to turn on the microphone and record into the recording screen. Here I'm using my phone to record. Not easy, but it is what it is. Next, what else was I thinking? A lot of the promises that Vivek Ramaswamy makes, they just sound good. Now, is he going to be able to do it? Is he going to be able to get it done? Because here I'm waving. Because for him to get it done is one thing. He's going to be advising the president. He's not really going to be doing anything himself. So he's going to be advising the different departments. Like from your department, cut this out because it's not working. It's just draining money. You know? I wonder who he's going to talk to for the Department of Education. How he's going to drain the swamp. I wonder who he's going to talk to. Well, you know what? No, they know who they're going to talk to. You know, Vivek Ramaswamy has a law degree. The man is a lawyer. So he knows what he got to send to the different department. Like, cut this out because it's not working. Move this out because we need it moved out. Nobody's going to work anyway. You have people working from home. That's insane. What's today? Today is Sunday, November 17th. My son, he's learning how to cut hair. The man is 15. I told him to give me a fade. This is the best fade that I could get from somebody who's never given a fade in his whole life. So it's a great start. That's how you get things done. You just cut down all the hair from the top. You just got to give the man props. Now let's take 2 ingredient candy bars. You can make candy bar with 2 ingredients. That's crazy. Russia bound Ukraine's power grid in massive airstrike. Gamble on Gates. Look at this radicalized lunatic.
That's right, Mary. Those neighbors say that the daily demands of being a caretaker may have sent her over the edge. The result, she is currently locked up in the King County Jail on $2 million bail. According to court papers, the first signs of trouble in this case happened when neighbors heard smashing glass. All of it on election night when the presidential race was about to be announced.
My first thought was, are people just getting upset over this election, or is someone actually trying to break it in? Or
prosecutors say the actual answer was much more horrific. They say 33-year-old Curry Burke smashed nearly every window in this home immediately after killing her father with an ice axe.
The lights were off, and only 2 people live in that house, and only one of them was on the street.
This woman lives near Burke. As she watched the election results, she said she noticed flashing lights outside. She then says she noticed Burke covered in blood.
My thought was that something calamitous had happened in the household, and my first instinct was, did she kill her father with her bare hands?
All right, guys, so we got to talk about a story that I think is a classic example of the left-wing extremism that we do not talk about enough in this country. For as much as the media wants to focus on right-wing extremism, I really don't see too much right-wing extremism in this country, okay? But I see
Yo, it says wife of prominent trans writer hacked father to death with ice axe after Trump's election night victory. Yo, wife of prominent trans? What? So what does this mean? That is a guy turned into a girl and married this woman? Confusing as hell.
Whole lot of left-wing extremism that leads to violence. And unfortunately, in this case, it seems to have led to death. Okay. A murder that was done by a daughter against her father on election night. Okay. And it seems as if the daughter, Corey Burke, was upset with Trump winning on election night to the point where she took out her rage on her father. Okay. She just snapped and killed her father with an ice axe.
We have new details concerning a brutal murder inside a home in Seattle's Rainier Beach neighborhood. A woman is charged with killing her elderly father with an ice axe after an argument. King 5 Sebastian Robertson joining us live from the King County Jail with the newest details tonight. Sebastian.
Hi, Joyce. 33-year-old Corey Burke is currently in the King County Jail. She's charged with murder one, held on $2 million bail. Now, new court documents obtained by King 5 shine some light into what happened inside that family home.
1 week after Seattle police found a man slashed and bludgeoned to death, a private biohazard cleanup company is seen entering the home.
That's crazy. It happened so close.
It was neighbors that called 911 around 8 in the evening on November 5th, Election Day, when a woman was seen and heard smashing windows inside her home. Arriving officers encountered 33-year-old Corey Burke, who, according to court documents, would not give officers permission to search her home. She stated nobody else was inside. Investigators say she was unable to explain the blood on her face, and officers went in anyway, discovering the body of an older white male laying face down on the carpeted floor. That man, later identified as Timothy Burke, Corey's father. Timothy Burke was found with multiple lacerations to his left side, back, head, and ears. Investigators also discovered a silver and blue ice, a pickaxe, lying on the living room floor.
I only saw all the cats. That's it. Block off the road, and so we came around this way.
From Harborview Medical Center, Corey Burke told an officer there was something important about Election Day, that when her father started arguing with her about the lights being shut off, she just freaked out. Police say she whispered to the interviewer, "I killed her." A source tells King 5 Burke was a training manager for Jeff Bezos' aerospace company, Blue Origin. A LinkedIn profile shows she was employed at the time of the killings. A spokesperson tells King 5 Corey Burke is not currently employed with Blue Origin.
Yeah, so you're saying that you heard that. Now, I want to talk more about the details regarding this murder and why it happened. But first, I want to read here to give you guys some background on this individual, because once you guys understand the background of this individual, it just kind of all makes sense. And again, I think that a lot of this stuff is happening. This is not the first time I've covered a story like this in which you have some Trump deranged individual or seemingly Trump deranged individual committing an act of violence, trying to murder somebody over politics, over the election or whatever. And again, I think that this is a problem that really should be addressed in this country, right? The type of extremism that is being fostered by the mainstream liberal media and the effect that that is having on people, okay? Because leading up to the election, they were telling people that Trump is Hitler, right? So you can imagine that some of these individuals who have drunken the Kool-Aid from the liberal media, how do you expect them to react on election night when they find out that Hitler just got elected? I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying, like, stuff like this is not surprising to me, because this is the type of stuff that has been incited by networks like MSNBC and CNN. So without further ado, let's read here. A space rocket program manager butchered her father with an ice axe on election night after a breakdown following President-elect Donald Trump's victory, and was found smiling and clapping, covered in her loved one's blood, cops said. Corey Burke considered the bloody rampage in which she allegedly strangled, bit, and hacked her 67-year-old father in the $80,000 Seattle home they shared an act of liberation, charging documents allege. Now, if I was a betting man, I would bet that her father probably did not have the correct political beliefs, right? Because we know how intolerant some of these people are to other political beliefs that they disagree with. And he probably didn't have the right political beliefs for her, right? Something that she could not tolerate, obviously. Burke, 33, is a training program manager at Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos' spacecraft company, according to her LinkedIn, and is married to prominent transgender writer Samantha Lee Allen, public records show.
Wait, did you see the wife? Let me see. Is that a dude? Let me slow it down.
Show.
So that's her husband? Jesus. So that's a man who became a woman.
Allen is the author of the acclaimed book Real Queer America, LGBTQ Stories from Red States, and an editor at Them, a CONDONE transgender news publication. The killing was meant to, quote, help people change their attachment to their parents and, quote, had to happen today, Burke told police, her face covered in her father's blood, according to court documents. Burke had been upset about the election and knew Trump would handily beat Vice President Kamala Harris when she allegedly snapped, apparently, when her father, Timothy Burke, refused to turn off the lights. Now, I'm not sure what turning off the lights has to do with it, right? But, you know, a lot of these people on the left, they have been radicalized to the point where they believe that, I don't know, maybe if you don't turn off the lights, then you are contributing to climate change, right? And the world is going to end, right? If you contribute to climate change. So maybe that's it, right? Maybe she was upset about the lights being on because it contributes to climate change. I don't know. But what I do know is that this woman snapped after the election results, which means that her rampage had everything to do with being Trump deranged, being radicalized to believe that Trump is Hitler, that he's a Nazi, that it's the end of the world, that he's the worst thing ever because he got elected, right? And this is something that the mainstream liberal media was spewing on their airways for basically the last 4 years, right? Leading up to the election. I mean, even longer than that, really. And it really ratcheted up right before this election because they were desperate to stop Trump. This is something that the Democrat Party also said as well, too.
It's crazy.
And I guarantee you, this individual was radicalized. She then went upstairs, grabbed an ice pickaxe, tripped her father, choked and bit him on the floor, and struck him repeatedly with the blunt and sharp ends of the tool, police said. Burke sat down next to her father and watched him die, then smashed all the windows in the house in what she described as an act of liberation. Again, this is classic liberal language here, right? Officers reported when cops arrived, they found Burke clapping because she was so happy. Yeah, so again, you know,
it's crazy.
I'm not surprised. I'm not. And I feel really, really, really bad for the father, the fact that he lost his life at the hands of his daughter, who probably was radicalized. And
that's insane that young lady, she went from just being a normal human being to killing her father. That's the worst case scenario. She married a trans, so it looked like a man that turned into a woman, and she was okay with it. Like a lot of these extreme left people, they're okay with everything. Like everything is normal. They don't seem to think twice about it. Like, how are you gonna marry a trans? Did they have kids? It doesn't sound like it because they didn't say it on the report. But how do you explain that to your kids? Like, what the hell is going on? What do you mean you're free to do anything and everything you want? And then they have a new normal. That's insane. But what can I say? All right, Noel here, being verbal on life, or verbal on life, because you gotta talk. Look at my dogs bugging out, just barking their heads off. I think I had enough for today. Let me see here. Oh, I see what's going on. I am now in my living room because the basement is a bit far from me. I cannot go downstairs. But what am I talking about? Again, if you like the video stream, go ahead and give it a like so like that I can continue producing more and more videos for you guys. This is one of the many. I'm going to try to do this every day. The trick is not to stop. Check out my new fade. Did this for Trump. Trying to look like that guy who fought Tyson. Jake Paul. All right, let me end it right there. See you guys in the next video. Peace.